So I remember when my dad sat me down, he said, Chris, look, there are thousands of companies out there. I want you to pick one company and we're going to buy a share in that company. And with that share, you get to take a bit of their profits that they make. Now, for anyone investing with StockSpot, the great thing is you already own thousands of different companies out there. So there's a whole range to choose from that you can talk to your kids about. And we'll put some examples below in the comment section. But some very obvious examples would be like the Ford Motor Company, all those cars that people see driving around out there, or Apple, that makes iPhones, or Disney that makes some of the favorite videos that your kids probably want to watch. All of these are great businesses that you can invest in very easily. So I think then giving your kids the opportunity to pick a share and invest, even if it's hypothetical, in that share, is the next step. So for instance, you can tell your kids, pick any company that you think is producing lots of great services for people, and I will buy one share in that company. Now, if your kids are a little bit older, what you can actually do is allow them to research that company and find out how much one share of that company costs. And actually, they can put up that money and buy that share, even though they may already own it in their StockSpot portfolio. And you can either help them or allow them to track the price of that share every day to see how much their money is now worth, having lent it to that business to grow their business. So then there's a few different ways that you can encourage your child to track the company that they've chosen to invest in. When I was learning about this as a 10-year-old, it was also a good time, my dad thought, to introduce the idea of spreadsheets. So he opened up a computer, one of the old Macs at the time, I think an LC3 or something like that, and he would open up a spreadsheet for me and say, look, I want you to put every day in one column, and then every day I want you to check the newspaper and type in the share price of the share that you've bought. Now these days it's obviously a lot easier with the internet. You can ask your child to search it on Google every day, or you can help them find out what that price is. And so they can get an understanding that the price of the company that they have lent money to or invested in does go up and down day to day. You can do that in a spreadsheet or even on a chart on their wall in their bedroom, is another way you can do it. And that's also a point where you can start introducing the concept of dividends. That dividends are a way that companies can share the profits they've made with people that have invested in them. So obviously dividends don't actually arrive that often. Most companies pay them twice or 4 times a year. I think you can take a bit of creativity here and potentially introduce dividends more often and pay them maybe a percentage of what they've invested every week or every month to show the fact that they're actually getting a piece of the profits this company is making. And you can talk to them about it as well. So, if the example is Disney, you can say that, they've put out this new movie this month and the new movie has sold, tickets at the cinema, and they're selling toys, and all of this money that they're making is money that you get a piece of as a investor in that business. And then I think the last sort of step to kind of close the circle on your child's first investment that they've selected is allow them to choose when to sell their investment. So I remember this was an opportunity my dad gave me as well, and I was tracking that first share that I bought for many months. And when it had hit a profit, I think of around 20% at the time, I got very excited and I said, Dad, I think it's time to sell. Can you please sell my investments? I want to lock in that extra profit I've made and take it in. And so Dad, theoretically at least, went off and sold that share for me. And then I got to enjoy the spoils of the profits that I made, which at the time was very small, but for a 10-year-old seemed very exciting.